It served as a confirmation of the growing love affair between the Rangers and their fans, with sellout crowds providing an electric atmosphere and seemingly everyone else watching on TV. The message is clear. This team has captivated the hearts of North Texas and beyond. The ball club has earned this support through months of playing winning baseball with a group of talented, lovable guys, earning this region's adulation. Tonight, the personification of this feel-good team, Tommy Boy, Tommy Hunter, looks to go to 8-0 as the Rangers close out this big weekend series with the Angels. The Rangers have won 2 out of 3 against the Angels in this series so far. The common denominator, every game Michael Young has blasted away with a solo home run. And Michael and the Rangers are ready to go tonight. It is the finale of the 4-game series, a chance for the Rangers to get back to 7 games ahead of their closest competition in the AL West. And we welcome you tonight to Texas Ranger Baseball, along with the Hall of Famer, Tom Grieve. I'm Josh Lewin. And the Rangers do have Tommy Hunter. Big game. Tommy Hunter going to the mound tonight.
Yeah, I think it's a big game for the Rangers, too. If they lose, they split. If they win 3 out of 4. Therefore, it's a big game for Tommy Hunter. He seems to be up to the challenge this year. In 8 of his 9 starts, he's given up 2 earned runs or fewer. He's won his last 2 starts on the road in Boston, on the road in Detroit. He's throwing more fastballs since he's been, I think, influenced a little bit by Cliff Lee. But he's on a great roll. Big game tonight for him, and look for him to answer that challenge.
The Angels have made a move today. They add Dan Herron. We won't see him, of course, tonight, but the Angels will see a full dose of Mr. Tommy Hunter, and it'll be Trevor Bell going in kind of a spot start, emergency start for the Angels ball club. Nelson Cruz and company ready for him, ready for about anything tonight, as it is Game 4 of the big 4-game series with the Halos. on by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. Tommy Hunter, who's only about 12 years older than some of these kids that just ran out there to meet their heroes, making the start tonight and trying to get to 8-0. The Rangers trying to get to 7 games above 500, or excuse me, 7 games in front of these Angels in the AL West. Special guests in the house tonight. And obviously a lot of pomp and circumstance about the Rangers and the Angels, as you can imagine. The Angels winning yesterday, Tom, to avoid being 8 games back. And, well, that really would have sounded some alarm bells. They've been 8 out with 60 games to go. But they have crawled back to within 6. And the Angels now tonight against Tommy Hunter send out this lineup brought to you by Southwest. It's Ibar, it's Torres, and Abreu. Not Tommy Hunter, but Torrey Hunter batting cleanup, 4-time All-Star in a bit of a slump right now. Matsui and Kayaspo. Kendrick playing first base tonight, first time all year. Juan Rivera and Jeff Mathis. And Tommy Hunter, the first ever Ranger to start out 7-0 in the rotation. We'll get that chance to go to 8-0 tonight. The Suzuki Scouting Report.
Well, he's had 9 starts. He's won 7 of them. In 8 out of 9, he's given up 2 or fewer walks. 176 opponent's average with runners on, 111 with runners in scoring position, which pretty much explains the great start that he's off to. He's given up 2 earned runs or fewer in 8 of 9 starts, and the other one he only gave up 3. It was a quality start. It's been an outstanding start for Tommy Hunter in 9 starts. Started the season on the disabled list.
Last time out, those 7 shutdown innings against the Tigers. The Angels have really been the one team that's had his number tag, but, you know, that was over a pretty short sample over the stretch of a couple of weeks last season. He lost 2-0 and 11-0, giving up 9 runs in about 7 innings of work. And obviously this version of Tommy Hunter in 2010, markedly different than the one in 2009. And the one last year wasn't half bad.
Yeah, and Tommy has a good curveball. Last 2 starts, one in Detroit, one in Boston, has not thrown as many curveballs. Kind of on the Cliff Lee style. Use your fastball as long as it's successful, and it'll be successful the better you locate it.
Ibar shoots the first pitch of the night into fairly deep center, but there is Josh Hamilton galloping back. We'll show you the rest of the Ranger defense right now. Second time we've seen Hamilton in center in this series. Murphy and Cruz flank him out there. It's the regulars in the infield, Young, Andrews, Kinsler, and Davis. And Benji Molina getting a lot of playing time now with Matt Trainer on the DL. Molina among the former Angels, getting a chance to play against his former team this weekend. One thing we should point out, Tom, this is about the heaviest battery that you're ever going to see. It's 280 pounds pitching to 230 pounds. The all-time record, if you care, they say it's Jumbo Brown of the 1937 Reds. They called him Jumbo for good reason. He was 295. Pitched to Ernie Lombardi, who was 230. Oh, it's 525 pounds of pitcher-catcher battery. This one is not quite that, but he's still got a hefty guy up there and a hefty guy back there. As his Torres is retired for out number 2.
A good start for Tommy. 3 pitches, 2 outs. And one thing he's been doing a great job of is using his cutter. Throws it to right-hand hitters, and they hit it off the end of the bat. Throws it to left-hand hitters, and they tend to hit it off the handle. In either case, they're not hitting the ball very hard. Tommy's last couple of starts have not led to a lot of strikeouts. Only 4 strikeouts in his last 2 starts. But not a lot of balls hit hard, and that's the key. Get quick outs with weak contact, and boy, he's been doing a great job of that.
Bobby Abreu, who usually takes the first one, and indeed he does. We're getting word, Tom, that, you know, and as we signed on tonight, we were talking about how Rangers fever is all over the Metroplex now. We heard that President Bush actually called Nolan Ryan personally this afternoon and said, I'd like to come to the game. This is the first time that the president has been here in 2010. And it may just be that he had some time off today, but I got to think that maybe it's also that there's a buzz about this ball club right now.
Probably a little of both, I would guess. He's always been a great fan, not just of the Rangers, but of baseball. a baseball historian. He knows lineups from 50 years ago, loves the game, knows the game very well. And even if he's not out here, he's still following it pretty closely, and I know he's rooting for the Rangers.
I was blown away when we met him at the White House, first time for me, and he asked about the Sonic Slam inning. I mean,
how does he get involved in that? How does he sign up for it?
I'm sure he's eligible, but I don't think he actually needs the
Tonight's winner is George W. Bush.
That would make our Sonic people real happy, boy.
$450.
But you know what? He wouldn't have qualified because he wasn't living in North Texas at the time.
Good point.
So, no, but the fact that he knows what that is, you know that he's watching. Murphy going back, still going back at the track to make the catch on Abreu and Tommy Hunter. Only 8 pitches, 7 of them strikes. It's a great way to start. At 3 out of 4 against the Angels, trying to knock them back to 7 games out. The A's, by the way, are 7 games out right now. They won again today, and they come in next week. The Rangers feature Andrus, Young, Kinsler, and Guerrero. Josh Hamilton has hit safely in 33 of his last 34 home games. Cruz had a homer yesterday. Murphy bats 7th, and Benji Molina and Chris Davis. On the mound and making his first start all year as an Angel, though he did make 6 down at AAA. Here is their one-time first-round pick back in 05, Trevor Bell.
Yeah, the time in the big leagues this year has not gone very well. 15 games, 30 hits in 19 innings. Hasn't walked many, has his share of strikeouts. Did pitch very well in AAA, though. 6 minor league starts. Nice record. Longest major league outing of the year is 3 innings. Last start that he had was a while back in AAA. Actually, it was July 16th, about 9 days ago. He had a start where he threw 6 innings. Since then, he's had one inning relief appearance in the big leagues.
Last year, he did make 4 starts, and they did not go real well. ERA of 9.74. The Angels making a big splash today, acquiring Dan Herron. The Arizona Diamondbacks are well out of it in the NL West, and they've made a Herron available. Joe Saunders and some prospects going the other way. So Mike Scioscia having imported Alberto Callaspo and Dan Herron just while here in Arlington.
I'm not sure who the prospects are or what the quality of the prospects are, but that's a good trade for the Diamondbacks. They get out from underneath a big contract of a very good pitcher who's not going to help them win because they're not close enough to winning. Saunders a little bit younger. They get a solid major league starter.
Although this year Dan Herron is leading the major leagues in hits allowed. It is certainly not his best work so far. But he's a proven 14 to 16 game winner year in, year out. Chop ball to short. High bar to Kendrick for the out. We'll show you the Angels in the outfield. Rivera, Hunter, and Abreu left to right. In the infield, it's essentially 4 guys who play second base. And they really don't have a true corner infield kind of stick right there. But Kendrick, who's normally a second baseman, plays first. Kayaspo can play there. He's a third. Mathers catching Trevor Bell. And Kayaspo could be a nice addition for these Angels. We've talked about him as a guy that wore out the Rangers as a Royal the last couple of years. Well, speaking of wearing people out, Michael Young having homered in all 3 games of this series. See if he can do it again against Trevor Bell.
Bell was a #1 draft choice, actually the 37th pick in 2005. He's got a good arm, fastball low to mid-90s. Just saw the hard breaking ball, hard slider that he throws. Rangers haven't seen a lot of him.
Until he throws a perfect game or a no-hitter or something, Tom, his claim to fame is going to be something else entirely. And that is that he is the grandson of the original Bozo the Clown.
Well, that's not too bad.
Some big shoes to fill, they say. The 2-1 is right back at him. He deflects it towards second base. Kendrick couldn't make that scoop. It's his first game playing first base all year, and he just couldn't come up with it.
I think his tourist actually had a little more time than he took to make that throw. He's got good hands, great quickness, good solid middle infielder. And Michael gets jammed a little bit on this ball. And you can see the throw is low. I think if he planted his foot, might have been a closer play, but he might have been able to make a stronger, more accurate throw. Going to go as an infield hit for Michael.
And an 8-game hitting streak for Michael. Bringing up Ian Kinsler, who had a 16-gamer stop last night, though he did walk twice. Only 2 walks the Rangers achieved last night against Irvin Santana. Let's face it, Tom, the Angels absolutely needed Santana to do exactly what he did last night.
Yeah, that definitely was a game they need to win, and I think this is a game the Rangers need to win. It's not the end of the world if they lose. They still have a 5-game lead. It'd really be nice to have the Angels come in here and have the Rangers win 3 out of 4. It's kind of like the game in Boston when CJ beat them in the 4th game to make it 3 out of 4 instead of splitting the series. Take any momentum away from the Angels that they may have gained from last night.
The Angels in the thick of a very tough stretch. They got to go home and play the Red Sox next. They are 0-4 this year against Boston. Then they get the Rangers again.
You have to be pretty impressed with the way Oakland's playing right now. They just beat Chicago easily in the last 2 games of their 3-game series, and White Sox playing a brand of baseball that's probably as good as anybody in baseball over the last month and a half.
Yep, the A's will come here Tuesday having won 10 out of 12. Kinsler curls it to left. It is foul. And a nice catch down there by a young fan. The Jack-in-the-Box AL West standings up to date. There's the A's win against Chicago. Seattle scored 3 times in the 8th and beat Boston in Seattle today. It is already a spectacular day at the ballpark for that kid. Caught it on the fly. Nice crowd here tonight. Kinsler deposits it in right center field. Base hit. Michael Young, a stutter step into the hold.
Michael had to wait. Wasn't sure whether that ball would carry all the way to the Brave.
Vladimir Guerrero coming up. Near the middle of the plate, and Ian, who again had the 16-game streak stopped yesterday, maybe starting another. And Vladimir Guerrero to the plate, only 3 for his last 27, Tom. We're seeing Vladdy behind on some fastballs on this homestand, something we really haven't seen.
I've seen him miss a few fastballs that were actually strikes, and that's something you really don't see very often. But as we were talking about last night, I don't care who the hitter is, how great the hitter is, you're going to go through stretches of 4 or 5 games where your timing's off a little bit. And that's what Vladdy's going through right now.
Well, we saw that with Nelson Cruz not too long ago, and Nelly right now with a 13-game hitting streak spinning out of that.
Yep.
walked into the crowd of probably about 32,000-ish, it would appear, humans. And also, I'm guessing 300 or 400 dogs. It is dog night tonight. They had the parade on the field, among other things on the field before the game. Grounds crew put to work. Outside corner to Vladdy, 1-2. Crowd of 47,000 here last night. Second straight sellout. But no dogs last night. I'm sorry, canine Americans. To be politically correct. Towards right for Vlad. Right down the line and foul.
Another nice play.
I'm telling you, this Ron Washington attention to defense thing is spreading.
More and more fans bringing their gloves.
And more and more fans coming in general. Probably about 160,000 will have been through here to see this 4-game series. Now Bell dials it down, and down goes Vladdy. It's up to Josh Hamilton.
Good breaking ball right there. Sharp breaking ball. A little bit down, a little bit out of the strike zone maybe. There are times where you'll see Vladdy hit that pitch, but that's still a good pitch. He had a fastball to hit that he fouled off in that at-bat. That I think if he was swinging the bat the way he normally does, he would have hit it.
Josh Hamilton having this unbelievable MVP caliber season. As awesome as his 2008 was, this one is even better. On base percentage of close to 400 now. He leads the majors in batting average, hits, total bases, and extra base hits. Wisely, Bell stays away. It's a 47-game stretch right now, tagged for Josh Hamilton, during which he's hitting .426. It's a long time to be hitting .4 something.
And Josh has an outside chance of having 100 extra base hits in a season.
Pounded, base hit in the right center.
That's going to roll to the wall.
Oh, let's watch Josh Hamilton fly. This could be something. He's at second. He's going to third. 2 runs are in. He'll pull up. It's a triple.
I have no idea where Bobby Abreu was playing. He looked like he was playing for Elvis Andrus in right field. That ball was hit. That's a ground ball to second base. Hit like a bullet, though. And Abreu was kind of playing a little bit shallow in right field and had no chance to cut this ball off.
Off the bat, does that look like a triple?
Well, not a ground. When you hit a ground ball to second base, you don't expect a triple. But watch where Abreu's playing. You don't even see him in the picture. And with Josh batting, you got to be playing deeper than that.
If Torrey Hunter doesn't pick it up cleanly, I really think Josh Hamilton tries for the inside the Parker. Be only the second Ranger inside the Parker in the history of this stadium. The fans are quite happy with a 2 RBI triple. Backing up on the ball, Kai Ospo. Nelson Cruz is out, but the Rangers grab the lead on the Angels. Who else but Josh Hamilton getting it done? front. We go to the second inning. We go to Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Josh. Hey, in Community Corner tonight, we have Karen Morris of the Texas Rangers. Big day because Karen, the Texas Rangers Foundation, handed out some scholarships.
That's right, Jim. Tonight, the Texas Rangers Foundation gave out 18 college scholarships to all these great students standing behind me.
All right.
We have the Johnny. We have Johnny Oates scholars, Mark Holt scholarships, Nolan Ryan scholarships, and Michael Young scholarships. And all these kids behind me are the future of Texas. They're all going off to college thanks to the Texas Rangers Foundation.
And again, Texas Rangers Foundation continuing to help out. Karen, appreciate the time. And congratulations. Best of luck, guys and girls, in the future. All right, thank you. Josh.
Nolan Ryan out to personally shake hands. Thank you very much. Mr. Jim Knox. Here's Torrey Hunter clobbering one to center. The Angels are on the board. Hunter versus Hunter. Torrey beats Tommy. Going dead center to make it 2-1, and back it comes, Wrigley Field style. Whoever just went out and got it, threw it back. Now, we had mentioned off the top that Torrey Hunter has been slumping. He had only 3 runs batted in his last 16 games, but boy, that's a no doubt about it shot right there.
Well, he's trying to throw it in, and he doesn't get it in. He gets the middle of the plate. So that might be the difference between a soft fly ball off the handle or a long home run right off the sweet spot of the bat.
Tommy had a stretch fairly recently where he gave up 4 home runs in a patch of 8 innings. Other than that, that's only the second home run that he's allowed. Right-handed hitters had been held in check big time by Tommy Hunter. We talked about that earlier, too. But that particular righty took a pretty good swing. Righties had been at 169 for the year against Tommy. But Torrey Hunter's 16th homer of the season has sliced this down to 2-1.
Josh, our old friend Russ Reston is watching the game today. I hope. He used to run the elevator here at the ballpark and the old ballpark for years and years. And Russ, I hope you're watching. If you are, you're probably watching with your wife, and everyone here, from Bob to all the announcers to John Blake, everybody up in the press box says hi.
Yep.
Hope you're doing well.
Missing you, buddy. Now that's a real nice pitch from Hunter. Tying up Matsui. It'll be Cayuspo coming up next.
He got that one in on the fist. Matsui hit it right off the handle. That's pretty much what Tommy's been doing this year, is locating his fastball and getting weak contact.
Cayuspo dealt in from Kansas City for Sean O'Sullivan just a few days ago. And again, it gives the Angels this hodgepodge of, well, you don't want to say utility guys. Mark McLemore used to bristle when you'd say utility guy. Just a guy that can play a lot of different positions really well is maybe a more polite way to say it.
Well, a utility guy doesn't play regularly. A utility guy gets anywhere from 150 to 350 at bats. And in Cayuspo's case, if he doesn't get hurt, he's a guy that's going to get 600 at bats. He may not play the same position all year long, but he's a regular player, and he may play 2 or 3 different positions.
Sean Figgins, of course, did that for a while for the Angels. Tony Phillips before that. And Mark McLemore pretty much made a career out of that.
Well, you know, in today's game where you keep 7 relief pitchers, that only leaves room for 4 extra men. One of them has to be a catcher. One of them has to be able to play shortstop. And so that doesn't leave a lot of other guys. Usually have a right-handed bat off the bench, a left-handed bat off the bench. And if one of those guys is able to play a number of different positions, or even one of your regulars can play a number of different positions, just gives the manager a lot of different options when you have a depleted bench, the way the rosters are made up nowadays.
Kendrick slugs one left center field. Murphy back, Hamilton back. It is Josh Hamilton, no problem. Hambone with a 2 RBI triple as well. The Rangers leading 2-1. Rangers leading 2-1 tonight against the Angels. The A's come in next. And don't forget, on Wednesday night, it's an Ozarka website Wednesday. Tickets available in a variety of seating areas. You can get half-price tickets for the game. TexasRangers.com is where you go. That is sponsored by 103.3 ESPN Radio. David Murphy leads it off. His boots more and more have been made for walking over the last few starts that he's had. Working the count, starting to get on base not only by hitting the ball, but by taking pitches, fouling off what he doesn't like. We just see a lot more ball forward these days with David Murphy.
Also saw a long home run in Detroit into the bushes 420 feet away in center field. Measured it right around 430 feet.
As we discussed, Murphy patient up there, takes it to 3-1. Now he turns on it and cracks it right at Bobby Abreu.
Boy, that was an absolute line shot. All he's got to do is get that up in the air a little bit, and it carries out of here.
Maybe not 427 like in Detroit, but enough to make it 3-1. Now Benji Molina, who won a couple of Gold Gloves as an Angel. He ended that long run that Pudge Rodriguez had going. Pudge had won 10 straight. And then finally in 2003, Benji Molina was able to unseat Pudge. Molina never did get a chance to catch Trevor Bell while with the Angels. Bell was still in the minors when Benji was with the big league club. And as we said about Trevor Bell, it's not just the whole fun story of being Bozo the Clown's grandson. He'll always be asked about that, but he's a guy that is actually quite talented in his own right, pitching-wise and also acting-wise, Tom. He's been in commercials his whole life, including last year. Was in an Old Navy commercial. Grew up in Hollywood. Was in a Hot Wheels ad when he was a kid. His mom, the casting director for that 70s show She is responsible for unleashing Ashton Kutcher on the world. Another foul from Benji Molina.
I want to say hello to the Harwell family. They're here tonight celebrating their son Thomas's 18th birthday. They also sent up one of the treats of the year, an Italian cream cake. Thank you to Kenny, Lois, Aaron, Kenny, Joe, and Thomas. That was a big hit in our press box.
Molina down on strikes. They'll bring up Chris Davis. Benji, a strong game yesterday. Threw out a couple of runners at second in the 8th inning. It was one of the few to get a base hit against Urban Santana, too.
Well-located fastball right there. The only problem with that Italian cream cake that the Harwells sent up was it was so big, the pieces wouldn't fit on a plate. You had to be hungry to eat a piece of that cake.
That did not deter many of you.
Didn't stop too many of our people up here, though.
Oh, we appreciate all the goodies that keep coming our way. Wish we could give back, but not only don't tag, tweet, tag, don't bake.
Not too often, no.
Outside to Davis, who's still looking for his first home run in the majors this year. He had 10 at AAA. Came close yesterday. Skipped one off the warning track in right center. But you know, bottom line right now, Tom, the Rangers first baseman Davis, and of course used to be Justin Smoke. You can even put Joaquin Arias in there a bit. The combined batting average for every Ranger first baseman this year is 195. And research this a little bit. There's only been one team in the last 35 years to have their first baseman hit under 200 for the season. That's the year that the A's had Mark McGwire hitting that 201 at first base. 1991, I think that was. And his occasional replacement, whoever that would be, hit just a little less than that. So it's very rare to have a team from that position not get a batting average of above 200. Yet here are the Rangers at 57 and 41. There's so much other offense all throughout this lineup. You got 4 300 hitters. And you can afford the luxury, I guess you can say, of having a first base situation of somewhere around 195. There's a walk for Davis. Obviously, you'd prefer a batting average to be a little north of 195 for your first baseman, but the defense that Chris Davis provides. He'll take that as a positive, and Chris has already proven he can hit big league pitching. Had that year where he came up as a rookie and he blasted 17 home runs. Mike Scioscia can probably tell you about that 1988 Dodger team that he was on, where they had a first base platoon of Franklin Stubbs and Mickey Hatcher. Those guys combined to hit probably around 230, maybe 8 home runs. But a lot of other things went right, and of course that team went all the way. That team had a 199 hitting shortstop on it, Alfredo Griffin, who's now with Mike Scioscia again. Our team leader in RBI had 82. That was Mike Marshall. But again, pitching and defense and clutch hitting. They had a World Series parade. Andrews right center. And Bobby Abreu is going to have to chase another one. He's got a help from Torrey Hunter. Davis comes to third. He's being waved in. It's Torres fires. Davis crashing in. Mathis hangs on. And the inning is over.
Well, if you're a catcher, that's what you expect in that situation. The ball got there in plenty of time because of the great relay throw from Torrey Hunter to his tourist. And give Mathis credit. He stood his ground. He made the tag. And it was an exciting play.
Check out the Longview locomotive here. Laying out Jeff Mathis, but it stays 2-1. by Geico Insurance, where 15 minutes can save you 15% on car insurance, and by AT&T. See what's new from AT&T. Go to att.com for details. But the ballpark's still buzzing. Ray Lewis right there just came on in and creamed the catcher. But Jeff Mathis hanging on. The score stays at 2-1 for the Rangers.
And the key to that play for Mathis was the two great relay throws got him the ball in time where he could catch the ball, position himself to take on that kind of a collision without being vulnerable, reaching for the ball. And that allowed him to catch it, move his shoulder into position a little bit, make the tag, and hang on to it.
Mathis played quite a bit of football as a prep down in Florida. In fact, he was recruited by Florida State's football team. And somewhere Bobby Bowden is saying, boy, yeah, I guess that guy can absorb a hit.
Yeah, and there's no choice for the runner. You can either stop and get tagged, slide, and not reach home plate. When the catcher's standing right in front of the plate like that, that really is your only choice.
Big swing from Rivera and a base hit. Leadoff man is on. Mathis will be coming up. Torrey Hunter really makes this play go. If Bobby Abreu's got to get it, no way are they going to be able to get Chris Davis. And you like that both guys just got up like, hey, that's what we're paid to do, both of us. Morning, Sam. Morning, Ralph. A strike to Mathis. You ever lay out a catcher like that, Tech?
I don't remember that kind of a collision. No, I don't think I was ever really in a position for that play to happen.
But you would have.
You know, you try. It just depends who the catcher is.
Mathis towards left for Murphy.
But you really have no choice in that situation with the catcher standing 2 feet in front of the base, in front of home plate, straddling the foul line. You can't get to home plate any other way.
Both guys so matter-of-fact about it. Davis gets up chewing gum. Mathis just gets up holding the baseball. Yeah, 35,000 people all just had their breath taken away by that collision, and the two guys involved just kind of shrugged it off. Ibar flied to Hamilton in the first. Now we'll take up and outside here. Ibar a 3-hit night last night. Again, a 6-2 final yesterday. The Angels took it in front of 47,000 plus. Spoiling Tom Grieve night at the ballpark too, although I'm sure not for you entirely. You look like you had a great time down there.
I want the Rangers to win every time they go out there. There's no doubt about it, but that wasn't a tremendous day. My family was completely thrilled with it.
Tom into the Rangers Hall of Fame with friends, family, teammates all surrounding him. Got to do the victory lap in the Lexus.
We had it TiVo'd, and they went home early before the game was over, and all the grandkids sat down and watched a video of it.
They like seeing themselves on TV?
They loved it, laughed. One of the little ones was rolling around on the ground. That got great approval from the older ones.
Ibar, having just missed to right, is now going to pump it towards left center. Hamilton's got another one.
Ibar's flied out twice now to center field. That's not his area, really. Fly balls to center field. His area is line drives, ground balls. He knows that.
Is Torres swinging right away. Hunter with an economy of pitches here. 30 through 3 innings. And only 8 of them out of the strike zone. Michael Young coming in to hit. It's 2-1. Next month, August 10th and 11th, you can enjoy all-you-can-eat seating for those games. Get an upper home run porch ticket and all-you-can-eat for only $39 for those games. TexasRangers.com for details. Sponsored by our good friends at 1310 The Ticket. Young will blast a foul. The bottom of the third underway. Trevor Bell making a start tonight. Scott Kazmir will come back into the rotation soon, and Dan Herron went to the same high school Michael Young did out in L.A. He's going to be part of this thing going forward, too. Just traded here today from Arizona. And the L.A. born and bred Michael Young on those Beat L.A. chants that we've been hearing all weekend. Our Geico quote of the day. And he's right. Beat Orange County is not very chantable. Towards center, and Torrey Hunter backing up, making the catch, and up comes Ian Kinsler. Been among the gratifying things, I think, this whole series, Tom. These Ranger fans just being so loud. Well, not necessarily every Ranger fan. That's a very well-behaved Ranger fan. Beat L.A. has been resonating in the late innings. And on dog night tonight, by the way, they are providing lots of water for the canines. We always point that out when it's 100 degrees or so. And there happens to be a dog night. I know some people get concerned about that. Two strikes to Kinsler. There's your Jexa Energy strike zone. Looks like Greg Gibson got it right. The Rangers have a scheduled day off tomorrow. First time since May they've had a day off at home without having to travel anywhere. And the A's roll in here on Tuesday. It's going to be a battle of 9 game winners, 2 lefties, Cliff Lee and Gio Gonzalez. If you haven't seen Cliff Lee live and in person yet, that is your opportunity to do that Tuesday. You know, the Rangers, Tom, have lost 13 of their last 18 to the Oakland A's.
The A's have good starting pitching. Gio Gonzalez is a really good young left-hander. Vin Mazzaro beat the White Sox today. He's got a good arm. Trevor Cahill made the All-Star team. Brett Anderson, I think their best young pitchers on the disabled list right now, not even pitching. Ben Sheets went on the disabled list. They still have good starting pitching.
Great at bat for Kinsler from 0-2 to 3-2, and then a line shot single. He is 2 for 2 tonight.
And he just continues to lay off the tough sliders slightly out of the strike zone. Gets a slider that's in the strike zone and lines it into left field. Actually, Vin Mazzaro was yesterday. Dallas Brady pitched today.
Yeah, and pitched very well. All right, we'll see if Vlad Guerrero can get back now. 3 for his last 28, a strikeout victim in the first.
He was not send down some karma and make the call for him.
I'm sure he'd appreciate it right now. Vladdy hasn't homered since the All-Star break. Hasn't had an RBI in 8 games. But he's still one of 4 300 hitters the Rangers trot out there. There are 2,300 hitters in the American League. Tag, the Rangers have 4 of them. Walloped into center field. Torrey Hunter won't get it. It is 2 on, 1 out for Hamilton.
And actually, Cruz hasn't qualified yet, but he's a 300 hitter as well.
And Cruz will bat after Hamilton, who's up right now after the Vladdy single. He couldn't decide whether to do the spotlight or the antlers right there.
He's just glad to get a base hit. He knows he's been struggling a little bit.
Josh got to do both the spotlight and the antlers when he got to third base. The antlers are for speed. That claw thing. And Kinsler calls it the spotlight. That's to draw attention to the fact that you delivered with a base hit. I guess that's true. If you triple hard somewhere, you got to double down. You got to show both. Pegged in left field. Bouncing down in front of Rivera. Kinsler coming around. Vladdy taken off for third. And he is out at third base. It is another RBI for Hamilton. More adventures on the base paths for Vladdy. The Ranger lead is 3-1.
Well, Vladdy just got caught out in no man's land. The ball's right in front of him to left field, hit hard. There's nowhere to go. He just took too big a turn. They threw behind him, and he couldn't get back, so he just kept going. That's a pretty good pitch to line that hard into left field. That's a slider, barely a strike. It gets to Rivera quickly, but it gets to him so quickly he can't charge it. There's no way he can make a throw. But he sees Vladdy take too big a turn, and now he's out at third base. Need to give up those outs with men in scoring position.
Vladdy stays aggressive on the bases. It's led to something that's, I don't know if we call it the Vladdy cringe or not, but every time you see him break from second to third, you just wonder, oh, is he going to make it? Is he going to make it? That time he did not.
You know, in that particular situation, he wasn't expecting Rivera to throw behind him. And even though he was thrown out, that's a good instinct because he couldn't have gotten back to second anyway. And who knows if the throw is bobbled a little bit or if the throw hits him in the back as he's going to third base. Now you've got a man at third base with 1 out and a chance to score on a sacrifice fly. So a little bit of a big turn. Nice play by Rivera, though, throwing behind the runner. And a good attempt by Vladdy.
Another deflection from Belder is Torres. Second time tonight. Cruz out at first base in a very close play.
I don't know about that call.
Ron Washington is going to come out and voice some displeasure with Brian Knight. The Rangers settle for 1 run in the inning. And at the end of 3, they lead by 2. At the ballpark, recognizing Young Chevrolet for their support of the YMCA at White Rock. For more info on Chevy's commitment to Youth League Baseball, just go to ChevyTexasBaseball.com. 30,000 plus turning out tonight. We have close to 40,000 Thursday, 46 and 47 on the Friday and the Saturday for the Rangers and the Angels. Big crowds, big excitement. Chance for the Rangers to make it 3 out of 4 against their closest competition in the West. That is up to Tommy Hunter, who has really been at pretty close to his best so far, working quickly, throwing a lot of strikes. Bobby Abreu is going to be out.
You see Chris bracing for that throw. When a pitcher fields that ball and he's close to the first baseman, and it's going to be a fairly close play, he has to throw it pretty hard, and the first baseman has to be ready for the throw. He has the runner coming right at him, and you see Chris getting ready for the throw wherever it might be, and is relieved that the throw is on the infield side so he doesn't have to reach into the runner to make that play. It's like a relatively simple play, and usually it is. But
Hunter, who homered earlier, lines to Nelly Cruz, and again working quickly, pounding that strike zone is Tommy Hunter. He gets Torrey Hunter. We'll get you to the Ford leaderboard off of that. Tommy Hunter, with what he's done this year since June the 5th, which is pretty much when he got going this year. Only Gavin Floyd and CC Sabathia have been better in the AL.
Tommy's got a chance of setting the season record for pitch count after 4 innings right here.
Right now it's at 33. He had a 3-pitch inning once already this year, the first Ranger to do that in more than 10 years. This could be a 4-pitch inning if Matsui helps out.
Yeah, he had a 3-pitch inning and gave up a base runner.
That was something. Got a double play immediately. Then another grounder and the very rare 3-pitch frame.
25 strikes, 9 balls.
Another strike. Hunter did not walk a batter until the 6th inning in his last start. That was that 3-hit shutout against the Tigers. The Tigers are a shell of their former selves right now. Tag in
their injuries. Wow.
Ordonez and Carlos Guillen now too, all on the DL. All right, so how about a 6-pitch inning? Josh Hamilton, no problem. Tommy Hunter's on top 3-1. These Angels on the, I'll say it, on the tail end of their road trip. They're about set to go on home, take on the Boston Red Sox. It is, as you can probably tell, dog night at the ballpark here in Arlington. We've been boning up on our dog trivia. Thank you.
Do you believe that dogs look like their owners?
A lot of times, I do.
After that first shot, I think it's a case where it was.
Well, it kind of stands to reason, though. You know, a tough guy like that.
Burly guy and a bulldog.
Not going to go out and get himself a poodle. Well, Kinsler's got a couple of Bijans. Kinsler's a big strapping guy. My guess is that might be more of a Tess Kinsler production.
See, there's more than one owner of the dog. Could even be one of the kids.
3-0 to Murphy is up too high. Before we leave the dog night topic, our Jim Knox earlier today caught up with some of the participants.
All right, Josh, continuing on dog night, some very talented dogs, Rose and Sully. They will actually eat these balloons. Let's go, guys. Unleash the dogs. Here they go. Not bad, huh? Oh, they're popping the balloons. Here we go, Rose and Sully. They got about 15 more to go, huh? All right, Josh, outside the ballpark, skating with Tillman, the famous skateboarding dog, English Bulldog. He weighs about 60 pounds. Not bad. Whoa!
Jim had 2 holes in his pants after he fell on his knees after that. That dog was great.
Jim is day-to-day.
Wow.
The day off should help him. He should be ready for the broadcast Tuesday, we're told. And he's been told to stay off the furniture.
That might have been Jim's best one of the year right there. That was great.
All right, meantime, Murphy goes. Benji Molina sends one up and into the crowd. The hit and run is on. That's something that Mike Scioscia used to deploy all the time with Benji Molina.
He's a good contact guy. He's a good guy to do it with.
Mike Scioscia, when he played for the Dodgers, Tommy Lasorda would put that on with him a lot.
Mike was a contact guy, too.
Rangers trying to build on a 3-1 lead here in the bottom of the 4th. Tommy Hunter has been fantastic again, needing only 36 pitches to get through 4 innings. That's like Cliff Lee on Red Bull right there. 36 pitches in 4 innings. Now Molina swings away, drives it towards Torrey Hunter at the track, and he's got it. 9-time Gold Glover just fading back on it like it was no big deal.
Yep, and you've seen in this series why he's a Gold Glover, too. He's got a lot of ground to cover. Bray, getting up in years, doesn't cover right field like he used to. Rivera is not known as a defensive player. And so with Hunter flanked by those 2 outfielders, he has a lot of ground to cover out there.
He's like a free safety out there. Just has to go kind of sideline to sideline if necessary.
Yep, that's what he looks like out there. He made a beautiful play to cut off that ball in the gap, hit the relay man, get Chris at the plate.
And Chris looked like a linebacker. Just steamrolling Jeff Mathis. But Mathis hanging on. That will be a replayed highlight, I'm sure. Davis walked in the 2nd inning. And you wonder how long Trevor Bell is fit to go tonight. You mentioned earlier, Tom, his longest outing all year in the majors has been 3 innings. In the minors this year, making 6 starts, he averaged 5 innings in those.
Yeah, 9 days ago, he threw 6 innings. I don't know how many pitches he threw. And then about 5 days ago, he threw 1 inning.
Murphy going in there with a stolen base.
So I would guess he's ready to throw 80 pitches today, 85 pitches, you'd have to think.
The Angels do get the bullpen going now. And Bell has allowed 7 hits in the game and a couple of walks. Murphy back, barely in time.
Nice pickoff play. That was executed about as well as you can execute a pickoff play. Perfect timing, good throw, and a close play.
Davis into left center field. Murphy's coming around. Davis on his way to second. Torrey Hunter throws. Davis is in there.
Well, every Ranger, it doesn't matter whether you're a fast runner, what kind of runner you are, the Rangers are aggressive on the bases, and it starts right out of the batter's box. And when you hustle out of the batter's box, as Chris just did, that gives you a shot to turn a single into a double. And Chris picks up a big run, gets a big hit, hustles into second, turns it into an RBI double.
That is going to be it for Trevor Bell. And Davis picking up that run batted in to make it 4-1. The pitching change upon us here in Arlington. And yeah, it's going to be a long night now for that Angels bullpen. Rodriguez coming in. And we will take a break with the Rangers ahead of the Angels in game 4 of this series. Our score is 4-1. Scoring twice in the first, once in the third, and once in the fourth. Which of these players, part of our AT&T trivia question, was not part of the first Hall of Fame class? Ty Cobb, Walter Johnson, Christy Mathewson, Hannes Wagner, Cy Young. Who got left out? Hall of Fame inductions today in Cooperstown. More on that in just a moment. Andrews will take from Francisco Rodriguez. It's our Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen. Trevor Bell lasting 3 in the third, giving up 8 hits and so far 4 runs.
And 2 of the 11 outs were on the bases.
Outside corner to Andrews, who doubled in the second. That led to one of the outs on the bases.
Rodriguez has great movement on his sinker. Really drops and goes into a right-hand hitter.
Also has a hat that comes basically out of his cheekbones.
Not sure how he sees, but he seems to locate the catcher pretty well.
Elvis rolls one back to Rodriguez. And he sees first base okay. Gets it over there. Davis scoots to third, and up comes Michael Young. The way Tommy Hunter's looked so far tonight, Tommy might not need much more than 4, but I'm sure that Tommy would appreciate a little 2-out base hit here from Michael Young.
Yeah, Tommy's pitching well, but the Angels are a good team. We saw them tack on late runs yesterday, so I suggest getting as many as you can. If that means Michael getting a base hit to pick up another one, I would vote for that.
Michael was responsible for 3 of the 6 Ranger runs in this series coming in it tonight with 3 solo homers. In it tonight, Tom, the Rangers had scored only 7 runs total in 4 games. And that is since those back-to-back 8 spots that they dropped on Detroit in Detroit.
Well, they saw some good pitching, too. Max Scherzer pitched one of the best games against the Rangers all year, really. Had excellent stuff in that game.
I think stuff-wise, that one and Ricky Romero of Toronto way back in whenever that was.
Joe Saunders pitched a great game. Weaver is always tough. Well, they've seen some good pitching, and Irvin Santana gave up a couple of solo home runs, but other than that, he was untouchable last night. But it just goes to show the Rangers were scoring in the first 2 games in Detroit. They got a lot of guys swinging the bats well, but when you face 4 solid pitchers like they saw, it's going to be tough to score. Fortunately, the Ranger pitching was up to the task, and they were able to win 2 of those games. 3-2 and 1-0.
On the ground past the mound, Ibar. Quick release to get Michael Young. Rangers settle for the 1 run in on the Davis RBI double. 4-1 our score as we go to the 5th. Crowd turning out and gets back to that AT trivia question. It was a one of those things are not like the others question. Which one of these guys not in the original Hall of Fame class? Cy Young didn't make it till the second ballot, till the second year in 1937. This is the 11-year anniversary tonight of when Nolan Ryan went into the Hall of Fame. It was this date in 1999. 1999, obviously, is a big year for Ranger fans. It's the last time this ball club made it to the postseason. A lot of positive signs leading you to believe that they could be getting back there again in 2010. Mark McLemore joins us in the booth, and he was part of the 1999 festivities and 98 and 96. I don't think that's a coincidence, but Mac, obviously, there's a lot to like about what you're seeing right now.
There's a lot to like. Just you look at the pitching staff, and I think that's pretty much the biggest turnaround that the Rangers have had, because over the years, not been known for having a strong pitching staff.
That is putting it mildly.
Very mildly, but now they've got a nice starting rotation. They've even got some extra guys that can fill in and get in and be put into that rotation. And then you go down to the bullpen. You've got a lot of nice, young, strong arms that are out there, and these guys are doing a tremendous job. And you know, the offense is still there. That hasn't changed, and the defense is spectacular. So having those three components all at the same time, that's what you want to have.
Tommy Hunter, a strike-throwing robot tonight. 31 out of his 40 pitches have been strikes. And, you know, it's funny, Mac, because I guess there's a tendency for a lot of us, I'm guilty of this, to suggest that, you know, once Cliff Lee got here, everything clicked into place because everybody started following Cliff. Well, to an extent, sure. But, I mean, the team already had the 4th best ERA in the league even before they traded for Cliff Lee. But I think we're seeing, you have to say, whether it's Hunter, especially C.J. Wilson, guys are emulating what they're seeing from Cliff Lee.
I really think they are. You know, you don't want to say, okay, Cliff is responsible for all of it, but I think he's responsible for some of it. There's no doubt. They've been able to see him pitch and work 3 different outings, and they've seen what he's been doing. And the number one thing that Cliff Lee does is go out there and he gets strike 1. And then most times he gets strike 2. He's going out there and throwing quality strikes, not just strikes, but quality strikes. And they're starting to fall right in line, and you can really see that with C.J. Wilson.
Yeah, and if you look at C.J. and Tommy, you're right, Josh. They were both successful before Cliff got here. There's no doubt about that, and they were going to continue to be successful. But I think you're right, Mac, that they've changed their style a little bit. And maybe if they can get just a little bit better by reducing their pitch counts and being a little bit more efficient, that is a positive influence. But he hasn't turned them from bad pitchers into good pitchers. Possibly he's changing them from nice pitchers into a little bit nicer pitchers.
And guys who may be expected to take the mound when it really matters, just like Cliff Lee did all those times this past October. On the ground, Elvis Andrus will get up. He'll fire. Davis the pick. You gotta be kidding.
Well, you make the play on a fast runner. And Mac, you just were talking about the defense, so I'll let the doctor of defense describe that play.
Well, Elvis goes to his right better than just about any shortstop in either league and gets to his feet and makes a strong throw. That's a very difficult play because he's going away from first base, and to put something on it with a guy that can get down the line like Howie Kendrick, that's a tremendous play.
Look how quickly he is on this thing and then how quickly he's up.
Beautiful. Well, you know, they say if you're not swinging the bat, you're not contributing with the bat, you need to go out there and contribute with the leather, and that's exactly what Elvis has been doing.
2 down. That is only the 11th pitch out of the strike zone from Tommy Hunter now in 5 innings. Now Elvis ranging the other way. This is getting fun. Mac, thank you, buddy.
You got it, man.
Talk to you on Rangers Live after this one tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Defense.
Elvis Andrus showing off out there a little bit. The Rangers on top here. It is 4-1. tonight over the Angels on Dog Night, and the Stretch Drive season ticket plan is something we want to tell you about. 3 games against the Red Sox, 5 against the Yankees. There's the Angels and the A's. You save up to 43%. And it's your last chance to guarantee your option to purchase seats for the postseason if there is such an animal. 972 Rangers or TexasRangers.com to get the Stretch Drive season ticket plan going. Into Kinsler. Strike 1 to begin things in the bottom of the 5th. Trevor Bell started, could not get out of the 4th inning. I think they were only hoping he could go 5 tonight, realistically, Tom, in that spot start. Meantime, Tommy Hunter threw 5 innings. Only 46 pitches needed. 11 of those had been balls. And I don't say this, Tag, to pick on Rich Harden at all, but just as a point of reference. Remember that game in Toronto? Harden started out with 11 out of 12 out of the strike zone. It was 11 balls, 3 batters into the game. Tommy Hunter has 11 balls through 5 innings tonight. Just been pounding that strike zone, and it's been going very well. Harden, by the way, can be making that rehab start tomorrow. It'll be his 3rd one. And the Rangers really would love to see Rich, obviously, just kind of round back to the capabilities that he has. Talented guy. The Rangers could use him down the stretch here, no doubt. We'll put the Rangers in an interesting spot. There's only so many spots in that rotation. Cliff Lee's going to go every 5th day. Literally, not just every 5th game, but every 5th day. So between Harden, Feldman, eventually Derek Holland, when he's healthy, you got a decision or two to make.
Well, Rodriguez has come in with that sinker and done a nice job. 4 up, 4 down, 4 softly hit ground balls.
Well, another day at the office for Josh Hamilton. 3 runs batted in, batting average up to .356. In the 1st inning, he hit essentially a hard ground ball towards second base. It ended up as a triple. We talked about triples earlier, Tag. Sports Illustrated did that story, and they called them the most exciting 12 seconds in sports, those triples. When you watch Hamilton run the bases, you can see why they came up with that title. Into the crowd, and the count 2-1. Hamilton obviously hasn't homered yet tonight. Usually when Tommy Hunter starts, there is a Josh Hamilton homer. 7 out of 9 starts, but I think Tommy's happy with a single and a triple. Another one out of play. So let's see, that's 7 homers, 4 doubles, and a triple now for Hamilton when Hunter starts. It's only Tommy's 10th start of the year. Hamilton's got no explanation for it. Hunter doesn't really care. He just is happy to get that kind of production behind him. Rolling into left, 3 for 3. Tommy hardly flinches on that one. Claw to the bench.
It's a good pitch down and away. Hit it right off the end of the bat. See a little piece of the bat go flying off. Good pitch by Rodriguez. Oh, Trevor Bell didn't fare too well today, but he made some pretty good pitches that the Rangers hit. Josh hit a ball. Davis hit a ball. Looked like sliders, backdoor sliders. They were good pitches. They just were able to hit him into left field.
Down too low to Nelson Cruz.
You know, when you've got a good hitting team, it's not just mistakes that they put in play with authority. Good hitting teams can also hit pitchers good pitches occasionally.
Rangers out hitting the Angels 9-2. They're trying to go and take 3 out of 4 in this series. Wave and a miss by Nelly, who had the 13-game hitting streak coming in tonight. Has not been able to extend it yet. 11 runs batted in his last 9 games. Tag, he had 2 his previous 15. We're getting more and more comfortable up there at the plate, as you suggested yesterday. Getting away from Mathis. Down to second goes Hamilton. Now some random single somewhere into the outfield is going to get another run in.
That's a blockable ball, and Mathis is a real good catcher. And I would say most of the time he's going to be able to block that ball. Just lifted his glove a little bit too soon.
Foul down near third. Time for our Coors Light freeze cam. I'll let you do the honors, Mr. Green.
Yeah, we're going to talk about good pitches, and here Trevor Bell hits the outside part of the plate, and Josh is still able to line the ball into left field to pick up a run. Same thing to Chris Davis, almost the same pitch, barely a strike, and Chris is able to line that one into left field, and that one picked up a run. So it's not always mistakes. Those were 2 pretty good backdoor sliders by Trevor Bell, and the Ranger left-hand hitters were able to line them into left field anyway.
And now Cruz just spoons it on into right. Abreu's up with it, firing home, no way. Cruz to second base, and he is out. The third Ranger to make an out on the bases tonight. But Hamilton has scored, and the Rangers are piling up the runs tonight, not just the outs on the bases. It is 5-1 Texas at the end of 5. sponsor of Texas baseball, and by 5-Hour Energy. Hour of Energy now, no 2:30 feeling later. Well, the Rangers, despite making some outs on the bases tonight, have built up a 5-1 lead for big game Hunter. Tommy Hunter has allowed just 2 hits. Has thrown just 11 pitches out of the strike zone. We'll see if he can keep on cruising here. He's got to deal with Jeff Mathis. Mathis grazed the outfield wall, homering it yesterday, his 3rd of the year. That got the Angels on the board against Scott Feldman. Hunter needing only 46 pitches to get through 5 innings. Scott Shields up in the Angel bullpen. I got a great note passed to me here, tagged from Fred Steichert, talking about the pitch counts and what's been happening here in this series. That ball popped foul back this way. Through 5 innings. We mentioned Hunter with 46 pitches tonight. C.J. Wilson needed only 59 the other night. Cliff Lee only 66. Imagine that. Cliff Lee, of those 3, had the highest total of pitches through 5 innings.
Yeah, and 66 is a good pitch count.
Yeah, it's a real nice pitch. He has 13 an inning. Dialed him down and struck him out.
And that just makes Tommy's curveball even better when he throws more fastballs and then you finally see it.
First strikeout of the night for Tommy Hunter as we go to a banged up, bruised up, but still smiling Jim Knox.
No problem, Josh. We got the biggest dog and the littlest dog. Couple great Danes. What's her name? How much they weigh?
This is Brella. She's 175 pounds. This is Dane. He's 143.
Okay. And what type of dog is this?
It's an English Mastiff from the Mastiff Rescue, and he's 3 years old and 160 pounds.
Okay. So Brella gets the biggest dog, 175, and the littlest dog goes to Tiny. How much does Tiny weigh, the Chihuahua?
Tiny weighs 2.5 pounds. She's 8 years old.
Wow, put Tiny on top of Sully's head. That's a picture right there. Very nice. Very nicely done. All right, the dogs look great. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Dog looks up. What's that mosquito doing on my head? Gotta love dog night, boy. Wouldn't be dog night without Jim Knox either.
No, that is true. We've had more items put on tape to watch at the after party at the end of the year off of dog night than probably any other night. Now, for the first time, Tommy Hunter finds himself in a 3-0 situation. Pitching carefully to Ibar is probably not a bad idea. He's been wearing out the Rangers all year. Has hit the ball hard twice tonight. Now Cliff Lee going 8 innings, actually 8 plus. C.J. Wilson going 8. And those guys were able to keep that walks column completely free. Tommy Hunter putting that to the test right now. Goes from 3-0 to 3-2. Juan Rivera, the last Angel to reach base. That was to lead off the 3rd. Kinsler just plucks it out of the air. His tourist will come up next. We say hello to Emily Jones.
Hey guys, I hope you don't mind, but I'm not going to reveal my weight at this time. I will, however, tell you what is on FoxSportsSouthwest.com right now. A great article on Texas Tech running back Baron Batch. And speaking of Big 12 football, we get you ready for Big 12 football media days, which we begin tomorrow. Fox Sports Southwest has got you covered beginning at 12:30. Great stuff on the website right now, and great stuff. Big thanks to these guys in the Tyson Suite. They open up the suite just so I can tell you what's on FoxSportsSouthwest.com, gentlemen.
Mighty nice of them. Thank you, Em. Appreciate it. Rangers live after the game, and maybe some dogs just wandering on by the set. 1-1 pitch to his Turris. Ooh, above Tommy Hunter. He's going to go find that baseball. Wing it to first. His Turris is out. Oh, Tommy Hunter will take a breath. He's going to tell everybody he's okay. We're just glad that that's the case. $100 and dinner for two at Sonic. Good luck to Daniel Weidinger of Mineral Wells. If a Ranger hits the Grand Slam this inning, we're giving away $25,000. David Murphy to lead off, and Scott Shields is into the game now. Third Angels pitcher of the night. The Rangers lead it 5-1 in the sixth. And Tommy Hunter appears to be just fine. After a ball was lined back from Meiser is Turris. We'll show you a replay in just a moment. I mean, anytime a ball goes shooting back like that, we saw Dustin Nippert get hit in the side of the head in Detroit. You just hold your breath. This one wasn't towards the head, but it was towards a very sensitive area nonetheless, and Tommy's just fine. The breaking ball and in the thigh, I guess, huh?
Yeah. Like right in the upper leg, no problem. Tommy fields it, all smiles in the dugout. No damage done, except maybe to the ball. I think Tommy just kind of shrugged that off like no big deal.
280 pounds, a human being right there, and a two-time national judo champion when he was 12 and 13 years old. I'm sure he's probably broken a board with his bare hand or something like that, Tag. So.
Probably. If he hasn't, he probably could.
Benji Molina against his one-time battery mate, Scott Shields. And Benji, the second out of the inning. Rangers running the bases aggressively tonight.
Yeah, let's talk about it here. This is a double in the gap with 2 outs. And with 2 outs, third base coaches will gamble that the other team can't make 2 accurate throws, which they did. Here's a play. Vladdy just goes around second a little bit too much, and nice play by the left fielder. Throws behind him and gets Vladdy going to third. Here's a base hit to right. The throw comes over the cutoff man's head. The runner keeps on going, trying to get to second. Good throw, good tag, and they get Nelly at second. Now, last play, the runner needs to do that. You're hustling. You're trying to get to second base with 2 outs. So there's a couple of outs on the bases, 3 outs on the bases. 2 of them you try every single time. You try to score the runner on that cutoff play with 2 outs. And Nelly, when you see the ball go off over the cutoff man's head, you're going to try to get to second to get into scoring position with 2 outs, almost like trying to steal a base. Mathis made a nice play. He raced up and got the ball early and threw to second. But if you're Nelly, you'll try to do that every time. Vladdy just took a little bit too wide a turn, and a nice play by the left fielder caught him off base, and they got him going to third. But aggressive base running, 2 out of the 3 you'll do every time, and Vladdy just got caught.
Nice night at the bottom of the order for Davis, huh? 2 walks and an RBI double.
Well, that's one of the keys for Chris, is to swing at the good ones and take the bad ones, and he's been doing that tonight.
Davis, the one who steamrolled Mathis back in the 2nd inning. Now Andrews at top of the order against a struggling Scott Shields. He had a rough inning in New York his last time out. Of course, he was hurt most of last year. It just hasn't been a good follow-up season for him here in 2010.
You wonder if there's any after effects from all the pitching that he's done. And there's a guy that was pitching in 70 games, 80 games, and not just 60 or 70 innings. Sometimes it'd be up in the 80s and 90s. He did a lot of pitching over a long time.
All the way back to college, too. We've told the story in the past about Shields when he was pitching at Lincoln Memorial University in Tennessee. He once threw 260 pitches in one game. Complete game, 16-inning effort. And he lost. Faced 71 batters in that game. So
that's
yeah,
unbelievable.
At some point, you're right. I think, how can that not take a toll? You say pitcher's got a rubber arm. For a while, Scott Shields really did. Andrews beats it on the ground, foul. Well, the Rangers yesterday held down to just the 1 run. Of course, they've been held down to, 2 runs yesterday, held down to the 1 run the night before that, but they won 1-0. Tonight they're enjoying 5 runs on 10 hits, looking for more here in the 6th. From Mathis, it bounces back to him, but Davis easily into second base. That is a wild pitch, the second from an Angel tonight.
Well, the Rangers scored a run last inning. Josh hit a ball off the end of the bat, broke his bat. We'll watch it in the 5th inning. 2 outs, hit a ball off the end of the bat, rolls into left field. Wild pitch. Josh goes to second, and then a little sliced ground ball into right field, and that ends up as a run. So when you're going good, you're getting runs in all different ways. You're hitting it out of the ballpark, you're hitting them in the gaps, and occasionally you get a couple of little ground balls through the infield, the benefit of a wild pitch, and pick up another one, getting them in all different ways.
Elvis draws the walk. Michael Young coming up. And Mike Butcher dispatched to go out there and talk to Shields, who again, especially his last few starts, or a few appearances anyway, just hasn't really been himself. Shields, by the way, a guy that's really bottled up Michael Young in the past. I guess one way you'd know that Shields indeed is not himself is if Michael can do something right here. This is a rare thing. When Michael gets 30-odd at-bats against somebody, usually he's going to figure him out. But 6 for 32 is all Michael's been able to do against Scott Shields over the years. Is not. It is 6-1 for Texas.
There's another inning where the Rangers pick up a run. Shields gets 2 outs and then walks 2 batters. And the Rangers don't let him get away with it. Michael hits a high fastball for his second hit, rips it up the middle, picks up another one. Rangers are doing a great job of that starting in the 3rd inning. It's 4 straight innings where they've had an RBI to pick up 1 run to tack on to their lead.
Well, Michael right on top of that. Now Kinsler can really just blow it open now. He's already 2 for 3. Smacks foul in the crowd. And another real nice turnout tonight here at the ballpark. Again, your next chance to see the Rangers is Tuesday night with the Oakland A's coming in. The A's playing some of the best baseball in the majors right now. Strike 2. Tommy Hunter is in position to go to 8-0. Only one other pitcher has started 8-0 this year. That was Carlos Silva of the Cubs. Yanked foul towards that Angels dugout. That protective screen is a help.
30 years ago, 40 years ago, you never saw a runner at third base pick up a foul ball and throw it into the stands. Baseball's become foul ball friendly over the years.
Elvis Andrus just did that. 0-2 to Kinsler now. Down on strikes. And Shields is out of the inning. 4 straight innings, the Rangers have scored exactly 1 run. And they lead 6-1 as we go to the 7th. Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. Training staff went out to check on Tommy Hunter. He waved him away. He says he's okay. Took that hard shot. Looked like it hit to his right thigh on the comebacker from his tourist to end the 6th inning. Between the 6th and the 7th, Tom, they had the race to try to get third base. Nolan Ryan's granddaughter, Victoria, was the contestant tonight, and she got that base and needed to get to the finish line before the clock ticked down to 0. We're happy to report with 1 second showing on the clock, Victoria got it done. And of course, the special guest in that box tonight. Special guests, actually. What a night at the ballpark all the way around. 6-1 Rangers. Tommy Hunter trying to get to 8-0. The Rangers trying to get to 7 games up on the Angels. Wouldn't that make for a very enjoyable day off tomorrow?
Well, after the All-Star break, the Rangers have had a couple of big 4-game series. They had one against the Red Sox in Boston. They won the 4th game to win 3 out of 4. And they're trying to accomplish the same thing tonight against the Angels. They can hang on and do that. Be 2 nice 3 out of 4s against 2 good teams. Still baseball to go, though.
And on the subject of you never know with baseball, Tom, you mentioned the 3 out of 4s. I'm going to throw this at you. You got 4-game series at home against Baltimore, at Boston, and against the Angels. You say 2 of those 3 are going to take 3 out of 4. The other one you're going to get swept. I don't think there's any way you figure the one where you get swept is home against Baltimore, but that's what happened.
Yeah, you know, I think that Baltimore came in and played well. They got excellent pitching from their bullpen. They got good starts from Jake Arrieta and Chris Tillman, 2 young pitchers who were at the top of their game. Maybe they caught the Rangers a little bit flat. The Rangers lost a 4-run lead in the 9th inning of one of those games. Well, who knows exactly what goes in to that kind of a series. But fortunately, after the All-Star break, it was a thing of the past.
First walk allowed tonight by Tommy Hunter. Bobby Abreu, a very patient hitter, draws it. Mike Maddox, even though Hunter waved everybody away, said he's fine. He's going to call down to Andy Hawkins.
I remember back in Florida when Tommy had that minor injury. He went back out, but his delivery was not the same. And you know, he felt like he could still pitch, but his delivery was messed up to the point where he just couldn't locate his pitches. And I don't think he's hurt right now. It's just a matter of whether the contusion on his right upper leg is bothering and maybe throwing his delivery off. Probably not. You know, it's only 1 walk. But I think that's maybe what the Rangers are concerned about.
Jamming Torrey Hunter, who pops it towards Davis. Now, even with the walk in the mix here, you're looking at 66 pitches for Tommy Hunter in the 7th inning.
And there's been a lot of games this year where we've said before the game it's important for the starting pitcher to go deep into this game. And what you'd love to see Tommy do that. Fact is, the bullpen's had a lot of rest and an off day tomorrow. So this is not one of those games. Incredible pitch count for Tommy. Only 66 with an out here in the 7th inning.
Darren O'Day, just in case something gets out of whack here, but you're talking about a guy who has allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 9 out of 10 starts. A guy who's allowed only 14 extra base hits all year in 10 starts. And you're also talking about a guy who just a couple of years ago, Tom, was a 22-year-old giving up a 9-run inning at Fenway. I mean, he has just come so far so fast.
He's given right-hand hitters a 170 batting average in 2010.
Tommy just turned 24. And you're getting the sense he is obviously still far from a finished product. You love what he's all about right now. The only Angel to reach second base tonight wasn't there that long. Torrey Hunter was circling the bases after a homer up on the hill. Matsui checks his swing. Mike Maddox is zooming out there as Tommy Hunter, for the first time, might be having a little bit of a release point issue. The pitch is starting to jump upstairs on him. Again, Cliff Lee is going to be pitching on Tuesday, looking for his 10th win. Tommy Hunter right now looking for his 8th win. And remember, he didn't start pitching in the majors this year until the 5th of June. Runner goes. And that ball right down the line for Matsui. It is fair. Tucked it right inside the pole for a 2-run shot. And now it is 6-3. 5 of the last 6 hits by Matsui have been for extra bases. That's going to be the end of the night for Tommy Hunter. I think that comebacker off the thigh might have been the thing that wobbled him a little bit tonight. A walk and a homer here in the 7th. He's only at 71 pitches, but out he shall go. And the bullpen gets to work. An appreciative crowd. The Rangers lead the Angels 6-3. We'll be right back. Now, with the bases clear, 1 down, it is Darren O'Day taking over, the former Angel. He's been used now 6 of the last 10 days. And a scoreless inning streak right now, tag intact at 18 1/3 innings. Lowering that ERA under 1.4. So 2 homers tonight for the Angels, and boy, that 1 walk in front of the Matsui home run, making this a little tighter ball game than you thought it might be. It's jumped from 6-1 to 6-3 as Teospo takes outside. course, close games between these two teams. It's kind of been the way it's gone. 6 of the 8 games so far have been decided by just 1 run. On the ground, Kinsler secures it, taking care of Kayaspo. Too bad for Tommy Hunter, because the line tomorrow morning, I guess, in the newspaper tag won't look all that dominating. 3 runs and 6 in the third, but only 3 hits allowed, just the 1 walk. And again, the economy of pitchers is what it was all about.
Yeah, and I think if you look at it, that's a quality start. And it's a lot better than it looks, because the last pitch he threw resulted in 2 of those 3 runs.
The only other game going tonight, by the way, the Cardinals and the Cubs are 3-3 in the 7th. Albert Pujols a home run. Kendrick mashing one into center, so the Angels not going away. Juan Rivera comes up next. That is a straight-on line drive hitter right there, huh, Howie Kendrick? Well, the Angels have doubled their hit total here in the 7th inning. Rangers will have 4, 5, 6 in their order coming up bottom 7, trying to extend the lead. Guerrero, Hamilton, and Cruz. Darren Oliver getting ready in the pen. He was hit hard last night. Second time by his former team. Darren's ERA against the Angels this year now 9.82. Against everybody else, it's 1.1. In for a strike here to Rivera. If the Rangers hang on, it's a 7-game lead in the West. But if the Angels come back, it's down to 5. Rangers going for win number 58 on the season. They're 57-41. Only the 1999 playoff team was a shade better than that through 98 games. Nolan Ryan's prediction back in spring training of 92 wins, certainly in range. Going for that inside corner again, didn't get it.
Looked like a very similar pitch. Rivera didn't like the first one. He really wouldn't have liked that one.
Trying to help Tommy Hunter get to 8-0. Here's Darren O'Day. Runner goes. And a ground ball near third for Michael Young. Takes his time. Gets his man. 2 runs are in. We'll keep it right here at the 7th inning stretch. On a nice warm Sunday night here in Arlington. We'll have the singing coming up of God Bless America.
Joined with the Los Angeles.
Rangers lead it 6-3. Time again for Chevy at the ballpark. We're recognizing Young Chevrolet for their support of the YMCA at White Rock. For more info on Chevy's commitment to Youth League Baseball, go to ChevyTexasBaseball.com. 6 runs, 11 hits, no errors, and several dogs for the Rangers. It's 3-4-0 for the Angels. Golden Retriever, I got that one. Vlad Guerrero will step in and take a strike. And Vladdy, the way he just completely dominated the Angels out there in Anaheim, it's been the other way around here in Arlington. And a lunge for that one, send it towards right. Only 2 hits in a 4-game series for Vladdy this time against his former team. It's going to bring up the 3-for-3 Josh Hamilton. So here we go with Josh. He is right now, Tom, 26 for his last 56. Has pushed that batting average to .358, which leads the majors by 8.
Yeah, he just got hot. He just stays hot. That's about all you can say.
It's been an 8-week tear.
He's always something for something that's incredible.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Middle of May in Toronto. 8 strikeouts over a stretch and 9 at-bats. And he just looked lost. But it just seems like forever ago. Another 3-hit game gives him 19 of those bad boys. Nobody else has 13. Two singles and a triple tonight. 3 more runs batted in. He's up to 74 runs batted in. I guess the runs batted in, that's the thing where he's really going to have to hustle to get towards that triple crown potential. Miguel Cabrera's at 86. Shields got him. And for years, that's been the pitch, right, for Scott Shields.
Yeah, Shields has always had a good fastball. 91, 93, right around in there, sometimes higher. And he's got the good curveball. Josh saw his best one right there.
Nelson Cruz singled to run his hit streak to 14 last time up, then was out trying to get to second base. Nelly having missed 37 games to injury. It'd be a real nice year statistically if it wasn't for that. You saw Frankie Francisco getting ready in the Ranger pen. After Tommy Hunter went 6 1/3 tonight, needing only 71 pitches to get there. Boy, think about that. 19 outs on only 71 pitches. So about every 4 pitches, an out. Cruz towards right. Base hit again for Nelly.
It's the same hit that he had in the 5th inning to drive in a run. Ground ball, got fisted a little bit. Last inning, Shields got the first 2 of the inning, then walked 2. And Micah Young drove in a run. Rangers had scored a run in 4 straight innings. Trying for another 2-out rally. Keep that scoring streak alive. That's an eerie look.
That's a great shot. Crowd of 38,000 plus announced here tonight. 38,320, not including the dogs.
This will be another good walk-up. The projected was around 27,000.
Yeah. For the 4-game series tag, 170,000 plus.
That's great. 42, 43,000 on average. Boy, That's great.
The A's come in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. TexasRangers.com to get your tickets for that. And the Rangers hit the road for a while going out west. Murphy up in the count 2-0. Got Benji Molina on deck. So far, the Rangers have scored in every inning except the second. That was that collision at home plate where if Jeff Mathis had dropped the ball, the Rangers would be right now looking at every inning. But Mathis hung on. The Rangers did not score.
Well, Rangers with 2 outs now have 2 men on again. Maybe Benji. It's his turn to drive in a run right here.
0 for 3 so far, but he will have his chance right now after Mike Butcher speeds on out there to talk to Shields.
We were talking about David before the game. Working the count, getting some walks. He's got 2 of them tonight. He also has a line shot right at Abreu in right field.
Quick reminder, you can bring the whole family out to one of the A's games next week with the Coca-Cola Total Family Ticketing Plan. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 Cokes, a parking pass, sports park tokens, all for as little as $60. Go to TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. High fly ball from Benji Molina. And the Rangers will strand a couple, but they do lead at the end of 7. It is 6-3. Triple. Believe it or not, 2 runs will score. The Rangers took the lead, and Chris Davis has had a nice night. On base 3 times, an RBI double in the 4th inning. Tommy Hunter, until getting hit pretty hard in the thigh on a comebacker, was just really in command tonight, needing only 71 pitches to get through 6 in the 3rd. He's got a chance to go to 8-0. The Rangers need to get 6 more outs, and Frankie Francisco being called on here, tagged to get 3 of them.
Yeah, and Frankie's had a pretty good rest. He pitched the first day in Detroit and hasn't pitched in the last 5 games. So he is well rested, and he was worked hard there right after the All-Star break. I'm sure he welcomed that rest. One thing about it, though, the more he pitched, the harder he threw. It looked like in his last outing he was throwing 95, 96, 97 miles an hour.
The reports that we get on Tommy Hunter, he is just fine. And again, in line to go to 8-0. Just pounding that strike zone tonight. So impressive to see. But the way he's gone at it this year, it's not really a surprise that we saw that. Reggie Willett's doing the pinch hitting. No, Frankie got ahead 0-2. Now it's 1-2 to a guy who's been a tough out in this series. Mike Scioscia just trying to get something going here, get some base runners. See if his big guys, Abreu and Hunter and Matsui, can maybe get him back in it. The Rangers were up 2-1 after 2, and then 4 straight innings. They got 1 run to lead 6-1. Then the Angels back on the Matsui homer to make it 6-3. And a foul into this big crowd again, 38,000 plus tonight. Another one fouled away. Willits. We've seen this in this series and really for a few years now. It's one of those guys that is kind of pesky up there for 7, 8, 9 pitches sometimes.
Yeah, he's more walks than strikeouts. Doesn't strike out very much. 11 strikeouts, 87 at bats.
Lifted towards left, and that is playable for Murphy. So Frankie just kind of hangs right with him. We go for one last time. We hold our breath. We go to Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Josh. Time for the Progressive Not Fan tonight, the Progressive Dog of the Night. We picked 3 of the best dressed dogs we have here.
Sadie.
Nice mohawk.
Hendricks.
Love the cap and outfit.
Cooper,
and got the glove in the bottom right there. Okay.
Okay.
The winner is Sully, the Mohawk dog. Congratulations, Sully. Here's your bag. Here's your hat for your Mohawk. Congratulations, the Progressive Dog of the Night, right here, huh?
So many comments and so few of them appropriate. Thank you very much, Jim. More canine gold from Jim Knox. Thank you, Jim. And congrats to our Progressive fan of the game. Ibar taken down and outside. We're told the dog attendance tonight, Tom, was 426.
Wow.
So the Angels even draw well for dogs.
That's always a popular night. We've been to Chicago to play the White Sox when they had Dog Day. People get to show off their dogs. And what dog family doesn't like to do that? Good splitter right there from Frankie. Comes in, throwing strikes. 7 out of 10 pitches.
Ahead of the ever pesky Eric Ibar, 1-2. 3 hard hit balls tonight, but 0 for 3. Now he's going to be 0 for 4.
Good curveball. A little bit of everything right there, Frankie showed him.
Yep, and the Rangers playing errorless baseball tonight. Tommy Hunter trying to defeat these Angels for the first time. O'Day and Frankie Francisco helping out. Been a nice run for Frankie. Really since the first couple weeks of the season. Oh, that's very sweet. A strike to his tourist.
Frankie's pinpointing the ball tonight. Just missed Benji's glove right there for strike 2.
Rip and a miss is Turris. Out in front of it now.
Very nice assortment tonight from Frankie. Fastballs, curveballs, and splitters.
Let's see what he goes with to try to polish off a good contact hitter. Molina setting up shop outside corner. And the fastball up too high.
Well, with Ibar and Izturis at the top of the lineup, you obviously enter the game wanting to keep them off base. Abreu, Hunter, and Matsui are the next hitters. And so far in the game, Ibar and Izturis are 0 for 7 in the game. Ranger pitchers have done a great job of making sure they don't get on base.
They've got the collar.
They've got the collar, so got the dog collar so far.
Peeled away by Izturis. Will do it again. Again, the scheduled off day tomorrow, then the A's in town Tuesday night. The beginning of a 3-game series. Oh, good. I was a little bit worried there for a sec where that beverage was going. 2-2 to Maicer Izturis. Abreu on deck. And Frankie getting close to one of those 20-pitch innings right now. But it could be a 1-2-3 inning.
Yeah, and the reason is not because Frankie is wild. It's because Willits, Ibar fouled off a lot of pitches, battled through the count, didn't make quick outs, even though Frankie was throwing a lot of strikes. From 12 strikes, 6 balls. But Willits, Ibar, Izturis categorize those guys as pesky hitters.
He is on base. Very close. All right, let's see.
That's outside.
Yep. Well, so Frankie has to work a little harder now, has to worry about Abreu. It was just 1 for his last 17, but it's still Bobby Abreu. Just the second walk collected by the Angels tonight. I'm going back and looking here through the scorebook, Tom. In this series now, the Rangers have walked only 5 batters in 4 games.
Well, when you're playing close games, 1-0 and 3-2 wins, that's obviously a major key. Don't put extra base runners on.
Down too low to Abreu. Ryan Fuentes, their closer, who hasn't really worked in a while, getting loose. Runner goes. Benji Molina throws. It is too late.
And not because of Benji. Benji got rid of that ball quickly and accurately, just like last night when he made a couple of great throws. One on a play out in front of the plate, one on a scoop in the dirt, throw out a base stealer. That was just a big lead and a good jump for Izturis. And in spite of Benji getting rid of the ball quickly and making a nice throw, he just didn't have a chance.
Now, Torrey Hunter is on deck. Hunter's the cleanup man. He's got 15 home runs, actually 16 now because he's homered tonight. And you got to be real careful here. You got a chance to finish off Abreu. 2 strikes on him. You do not want to face Torrey Hunter as a tying man. On the ground to short, and Elvis Andrus, the backhand pickup. Got it! Inning over. In the hits, both teams playing errorless baseball tonight, and the Rangers now trying to add to a 6-3 lead. They'll try to do it against the guy who's been closing this year, Brian Fuentes. They saved 18 out of 22, but there's nothing to close here, Tag. They just got to get him some work.
Yeah, and that's one of the things you have to do as a manager. You sometimes have to use your closer in this kind of a game because you just can't let him go too long without throwing. You don't want to use him tonight, but got to keep him sharp.
Bobby Wilson's going to catch. Remember, Reggie Willett's pinch hit for Jeff Mathis, so got an all-new battery here. And Chris Davis working on a real nice night. 2 walks and an RBI double. Neftali Feliz would close it if it stays at 6-3. If the Rangers can pump up the lead, you just don't know that for sure.
Yeah, generally I would agree with you on that, but I don't see him throwing out there.
He was throwing last inning for a bit, and now it's sat back down.
He must have already gotten loose then. Generally, right now is when you'd see him throwing before he comes in, but maybe he's already thrown and sat down.
And it could be also with the day off tomorrow, even if the Rangers happen to take this to 14-3. Still might like to get an inning in there for Neftali.
Well, he saved the first 2 games, didn't pitch last night. Did a great job of saving a couple of close games.
Davis got a piece. Fuentes, a great year last year in Colorado. Throwing as hard as he was earlier in his career, striking guys out. Allowed only 13 extra base hits all season as the Rockies closer. 48 saves. Fuentes came up through the Mariners system originally, and he was a starter back then with a more traditional over-the-top kind of motion. That ball caroms into the crowd. And one of the 38,320 in attendance tonight as a souvenir. Big night for Josh Hamilton tonight. 3 for 3, 3 more runs batted in. Nelly Cruz extended his hitting streak to 14 with 2 hits. And Davis trying to hold, but no, he's gone. First time he has made an out tonight.
Trying to throw it down and away. He throws it up and in. Chris gets a little bit of a piece of it and ticks it right into Napoli's glove. Actually, Bobby Wilson's glove.
Now top of the order, Elvis Andrus will walk in a double tonight, trying to reemerge a little bit as we get late into July. This has not been the best month for Elvis, hitting 179. But there was a lot in reserve before that. He was a 300 hitter at the start of the month. Base hit for Elvis Andrus, on base for a third time. So indeed, maybe about to get it going again, just as the A's are on approach. The A's with all that pitching. It's real nice to have a bunch of guys swinging the bat well when they come in. Of the 17 hits in the game tonight have been from the Texas Rangers. Might be the last chance for Michael Young, you figure, tonight to run that string of home runs to 4 games in a row. He's never had one like that.
Now Felice is throwing again, so he probably didn't need many pitches. He was just waiting until he had to get up to get loose.
Leading saves man in the league. There's going to be Hunter, Matsui, and Kayaspo due up. And remember, they've got Mike Napoli available off the bench tonight. Their leading home run hitter. Fuentes, a home plate umpire, Greg Gibson, said so.
I could hear that all the way up here.
Mike Sosa says, yo. Hey.
He pointed to his right leg. He's saying his right leg went past his left leg, I think.
Sosa has voiced his dissent. Greg Gibson has stood his ground. Elvis Andrus is at second base.
He's going to say that he never went toward the plate. He never went toward first base with his leg.
Real nice chance now to pad that lead. Make it a non-save situation for Feliz, but the Rangers trying to get to 8-3 coming out of the All-Star break. The way they limped into that All-Star break, getting swept by Baltimore. That is a great way to slingshot back out. That whole section has something to talk about now for the next 3 or 4 minutes. Fuentes wants a change of signs here. You've now got Andrus running at second. He can peek on in. Michael with a single in the first and then an RBI single in the sixth. 3-2 the count. They got 2-2 up on the scoreboard. That's why Greg Gibson made a big show of 3-2. Down the line foul. Cliff Lee pitches that game on Tuesday. If you haven't seen him in person yet, obviously everybody's been talking about him ever since he got dealt here. On the mound, on this mound, for a third time as a Ranger against Gio Gonzalez at 7:05. Another one slammed back in the crowd. And what is scheduled in that series anyway, Colby Lewis to go Wednesday against Trevor Cahill. Another pair of 9-game winners, just like Lee against Gonzalez Tuesday. A 9-game winner goes on Thursday. C.J. Wilson against Vin Mazzaro, who's only 5-2, but
he's pitching well, though.
Yep.
The Rangers are going to face 3 good pitchers. The tough pitching they're facing continues. Those 3 guys for the A's are all throwing the ball well right now. Cahill got beat by the White Sox in his last start, but he's been throwing the ball great.
Young down on strikes. Kinsler will come up next. Fuentes gets that ball on you pretty quick, and it's kind of a deceptive delivery.
It's hard to see the ball with that low arm slot that he throws from. He hides the ball behind his shoulder. All of a sudden it pops out of there, and it does sneak up on you.
Kinsler lines it into the crowd.
His dad didn't even see him get the ball.
Psych. A 1 pitch to Kinsler on the way. Ian started out 2 for 2 tonight. 35 of the last 39 games now. Tag has got at least 1 hit. That is quite a tear.
Well, Frankie had to throw some pitches. If you get a shutout top of the 8th, then Fuentes is going to have to throw some pitches. This will be 21 pitches right here.
Just trying to decide if it's going to be an actual save situation or not for Neftali Feliz. If it's a 3-run lead, and he does have that opportunity. If it's more than that, then he doesn't. The rookie record for saves is 37. Neffy's got 27 right now. Down near third, big hop. Callasco's got it. So it is a save situation for Neftali Feliz. The Rangers looking to take 3 out of 4 from the Angels. We'll have that chance when we come back. by Progressive for a money-saving car insurance quote. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and buy the Ford F-150. Check out the 2010 F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. 38,000 plus here tonight, seeing if the Rangers can take that 7-game lead over the Angels. More than 400 dogs, I'm guessing, don't care as much as the 38,000 humans that, can read the newspaper and all.
They just want to get home.
These fans are probably ready for that, too. On a warm night, they'd like to see Neftali Feliz save number 28. The Angels, as a collective, are 2 for 30 lifetime against him. Now, this is a tough part of the order here. Torrey Hunter, Hideki Matsui, and Alberto Callaspo. Mentioned that saves record. Sasaki came in from Japan, saved 37 10 years ago. He was well into his 30s when he did that. Feliz is 22.
Yeah, it's tough to call Sasaki a rookie when he was a dominating closer in Japan.
Slowly hit. Michael Young's got to hurry. Couldn't make that pickup. Torrey Hunter is on. Kind of a do-or-die pickup, and he just couldn't go down and get it.
Yeah, he's playing back. He knows Hunter's not going to bunt, so Michael's playing back, which you would do against a guy like Hunter. And he just hit the ball softly. And even if Michael fielded that, he's going to have a hard time throwing him out.
Matsui, the 2-run homer earlier. Just fair and just over the wall. And July has been a struggle for Matsui. He was pretty strong in June, but he's hitting only around 200 this month. Runner goes. And Matsui hits this one into right field. The Hunter takes a turn, goes to third. The tying man is coming up with nobody out. So from 2 for 30 to 2 for 2. That had a pretty good bit of the plate.
Yeah, a lot of left-hand hitters like the ball down, and I think if he gets the ball in the same part of the plate, on the inside part of the plate, and gets it up belt high or a little bit above that, then you probably have a little bit better chance. But when you can drop the bat down on that inside pitch, left-handers a lot of times like that pitch.
On the ground towards Kinsler. Can he turn it? There's one. And that's it.
Get one. Make sure you get one. In that particular case, it didn't matter which one you got, whether you went to second or whether you went to first. You weren't going to be able to turn a double play. And the Angels have to score 2 more runs, so that if there was a guy on second base, it wouldn't have made much difference. That would only be the 5th run anyway. But what this does is it keeps the double play in order. So a ground ball, and you might be able to get out of the inning.
Howie Kendrick is a dangerous dude. He is 1 for 3 tonight. Always hits the ball hard. And another guy kind of like that is on deck, Juan Rivera. You can't get fooled because this is the bottom third of the order. It is Tommy Hunter's game to win, trying to get to 8-0. That one close, but no at 96, 2-0 the count. Needed that, got that. 3 straight fastballs. Ranger infield, a double play depth. If they can turn one here, they are 7 games up in the AL West. Outside, though, 3-1. And Rivera, a guy who has hit a couple of 9th inning home runs in this ballpark against the Rangers, looms on deck. strike. Called a late call from Greg Gibson. Now makes it 3-2. Got a break.
Pretty close. Kind of pitch that could go either way. Technically, according to the tracker, might have been a little high.
Fouled by Kendrick. He lost the bat. Fastball sitting right at 96 tonight for Neftali Feliz. Again. Well, one 96-mile-an-hour fastball after another. And the Beat LA chants have begun again. Runner goes. And a bouncing ball to second base. They stay out of the double play. 2 down.
That's a double play if they don't send the runner. But that run at second base is meaningless. It's a 2-run game. The only way the Angels can tie the game is the hitter has to score. It took away the possible double play to end it, but it's a big out right there for Neffy. 2 outs, 1 more to go. Essentially, you treat this as a 1-run game and forget the guy at second base.
Boy, you just hate that it's Rivera up right now. Napoli has moved on deck, by the way. Twice against Frankie Francisco, and once against C.J. Wilson when he was the closer. Rivera has gummed up the works. Off speed to start him.
You got to stay on top of that slider. When your elbow comes down, the ball flattens out, goes sideways. You get your elbow up a little higher, then you can bring the slider down into the strike zone and get that, as they like to call it, tilt to it.
On the ground, slowly hit. Michael Young will try it again. Scooping, firing, ball game!
Same play, a little bit different runner. Second chance for it. Michael makes it that time.
And the Rangers are 7 games up in the AL West. Tommy Hunter is 8-0. Another huge game for Hamilton tonight. He had plenty of help. And over a 4-game series, Tom, more than 170,000 Ranger fans packed in here to watch the Rangers take 3 out of 4.
Well, it was a big series. The Rangers stepped up. The fans stepped up. That was a big game tonight. You don't want to split after winning the first 2 games, and you've got a chance to go up 7 or to go up by 5 if you don't pull it out. So to win that game, leave here with an off day, up 7 on the Angels, 7.5 on the A's. That's a huge win for the team right there, and they've definitely answered the bell after the All-Star break.
Believes another save. Rangers Live is coming up when we come back. Again, your final tonight, your happy final, the Rangers 6 and the Angels 4.